You see that before we start? You see that fucking Carmen make the team? Talk about that. Jackson Carmen making the team. We definitely took the ball. Good. Thank Jordan said he was a lot. Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Keeping It Real with Najeh Wilkins. Hope everybody's having a good week, man. It's Friday Eve, man, and week 3 is upon us. We got Graham doing a little fist bump, so I think he's excited about the weekend coming up too. Monday off, Labor Day. So we're excited, man. It's been a great 2 weeks. We're going to get into that. We have a tell of the tape we're going to get into for Ohio player. We got some softball rankings that came out, volleyball news, my recruiting intel, latest on top recruits in the country, in the state of Georgia, a little bit of basketball news, some baseball, and then my top 10 headlines. So, man, I'm excited. We got a lot to talk about today. So first, we're going to go ahead and start with a tell of the tape for Edge Cedric Works from Northmont High School. Man, just real quick, he really impressed me with his incredible IQ. Doesn't just look for the big hit, right? But he's always just disrupting. He keeps his eyes where the quarterback is. And whenever he's not there, he does NFL-type moves where he's going to get his hands up and he's going to disrupt the play, try to cause a turnover, tip the pass. You usually see that in the NFL and college. You don't see it as predominantly prominent kind of in the high school realm. So we're going to go and roll this tape and talk a little bit about it. All right, so right here, right off the edge, does a good job using his hands, disrupting the play, creating the turnover there, scooping it up. Right here, this way, look, he's not going to get there. Look at him get his hands up, high point the football, catch it, good interception right there. I got a little read option, looking to read it well. Look at this big hit he's going to throw. Boom. Came out of nowhere. Good job right there, just boom, just laying a hit. You know, not giving up on the play, continuing the pursuit. Very impressive. Right here, going to use his hands again, get off the block. Boom, look at it, get his hands up and create a deflection. No positive play for the offense. Right here, boom, he's going to get a good bounce, having the awareness to be able to see where the ball is, turn into a big play for the defense where the offense can get on the opposite side of the field. Right here, we're going to see him come off, just wait for the quarterback. Nice big hit right there. He's again reading the read option. Boom. Nice hit. Using his body well. Good form tackle right there. Boom. Here he comes. Finishing up the tackle on the quarterback. Big play. All right, here you go. Using his hands. Look at his hands up. Boom. Batted down yet again. Boom. Here he is. Using his hands. Uses his hands. Boom. Gets to the rusher. To the quarterback. Calls a sack. Very disruptive. Same thing here. Good job using his hands. He's going to see it's a read option play. Let him get off the block. Boom. Finish it. Minimal gain for the offense. So really impressed with his pass rushing moves. He uses his hands really, really well to get off blocks. Good block shedding skills, I think, in my opinion. And just always being able to read the play. Boom. You're going to see read option again. Waits for the quarterback to decide what he's going to do. Let's watch it again right here. So, boom. Easy read option. He's going to wait. Kind of stutter his feet. See what the quarterback is going to do. And then reads the play really, really well. So, you can tell he watches a lot of film. Boom. Look at his hands up. Nice play right there. Just always in the backfield. If he can't get there, he's causing disruption to pass the deflection or a PBU. Here he is again. Reads it well. Boom. Takes down the ball carrier. Boom. Look at that. Just great job chopping his feet yet again, knowing where the ball is going to go. All right, same thing. Nice run play. He's going to get down low, kind of get skinny, make the play on the ball right here. You see it's going to be a run play. Waits for the quarterback to make his mind up what he's going to do. Nice tackle. Boom, here. Just good pursuit right here. Boom. Nice big hit. Nice frame. I think he's about a good 6'3", 6'4". Gets low and skinny. Here he is again. Boom. Look at him use his hands. Boom. Let me get my hands up. Let me cause disruption again. Boom. Hands up. Nope. You thought he had an easy pass to the running back? No, sir. So, really like the way he uses his hands on the defensive line. He doesn't always get there, but when he does, he's causing disruption, causing a fumble. He's causing a turnover. He's causing a big play for the defense. Or he's causing a long down in yardage for the offense. So, love that about his game. Great IQ. You could tell he watches film. And then he doesn't really get faked out by the read option. And we know the read option kind of took over for, obviously it started with college and then it went to the NFL and things like that. But he does a good job of chopping his feet, keeping his feet going, waiting. What's the quarterback going to do? And then he's attacking the moment. So I really like that about his game. Doesn't give up if he doesn't initially get there. Does a good job, has a nice long wingspan, uses his hands to bat the football up. And as they say, batted balls, should be turnovers for the defenses. That's something that's said rarely throughout the NFL and other parts of, football, college, high school as well. So he does a good job of doing that. Has really good speed, I think, for his tall frame. He uses his size well. And I'm sure with time he's going to learn more pass rush moves to add to his repertoire and to his game. But I think he just does a good job. So Northmont, they got a really good edge rusher in Cedric Works. He does a good job, man, and I see why he's a 3-star player, man. He got a bright future ahead of him, so y'all go watch him out there in Ohio. Really impressive film. Should be able to play on the next level. I think Power 5. He has a really great game, and he's going to only get better and better and better. And I think he's 2025, so he got 2 more years at least before he graduates. So shout out to him. Enjoyed looking at and watching your tape. Very bright future. Now let's go to our next part of this segment. We got the latest in softball rankings that just came out on scoreatl.com yesterday. Buford right now is coasting at 8-0, coming off a 4-3 victory against Mountain View to maintain his number 1 spot in Class 7A. They lead East Coweta, North Gwinnett, Lambert, Brookwood in the top 5. That's followed by Grayson at 6, North Paulding 7, Walton 8, Lowndes 9, and North Cobb round off the top 10. Pope tops out Class 6A and leads Houston County last year. East Paulding and South Effingham in the top 5. In Class 5A, Northside Columbus is the team to beat with the Jefferson, Calhoun, Ola, and Woodland rounding out that top 5. Heritage Catoosa, leads Class 4A with Central Carroll, East Forsyth, West Lawrence, and North Oconee out there. And then in Class 3A, you have Wesleyan at the top with Gordon Lee, Jackson, Bremen, and Harlem filling out the top 5. Jeff Davis reigns in 2A ahead of Mount Perrin, Appleton County, Cook, and Ace Charter. Hurt County is ranked atop Class A Division 1, leading Prince Avenue Christian, Bryan County, Bacon County, and Lamar County. In Class A Division 2, you have Lanier County at the top with Bowden, Hawkinsville, Taylor County, and Lincoln County rounding out the top 5. So Go check out our rankings on scoreatl.com for softball. There's a little bit of news. I got some more that I'm going to share a little bit later in my top 10. But volleyball news, I thought this was really intriguing. Season is already heating up. I feel like they're almost at mid-season already, which is, man, it's kind of hard to believe. But right now, we got to get some love to Mount Perrin. Mount Perrin, they just won their third consecutive Cobb County tournament. They defeated North Cobb Christian, Walker, Wheeler, Allatoona, and Hillgrove. So they are doing a phenomenal job of that and just staying ahead and repeating for the third consecutive title. I mean, that is really, really impressive, and they have, a bright future this year. So we'll see if they continue to be competitive and do what they need to do. All right. Wesleyan hosted this Elite Eight tournament for the previous year's teams who made it to Elite Eight. So great opportunity for there. All right, so we also have Sandy Creek's doing a really good job. They went 4-0 in the past week. They've been the favorite out there in 3A in volleyball since the start of the season. Other strong finishes, including against White County and Wesleyan for them. Sandy Creek's my big standout right now, a team I wanted to highlight. They've beaten the likes of Buford. They have the number 1 player in Georgia and number 10 in the country in Asia Harvey. She's loaded with strength and also has a very good power on her hits. And Sandy Creek just has a lot of strength and depth on their roster currently. So they're doing a good job. But I want to talk about some of the top players. This is according to PeachStateVolleyball.com. Go give them some love. They've been doing a good job just staying ahead of the volleyball rankings, rating players, teams, and things like that. So right now, I'm just going to go through the top 10 of each one. So you got middle hitters right now. They have Logan Wiley from Alpharetta. She's currently committed to Georgia Tech as the number 1 player as a middle hitter, followed by Ava Gardner from North Cobb Christian, as we mentioned earlier. Kennesaw State she's committed to. Courtney Graham from Denmark, Alpharetta. She's currently committed to Western Carolina. Vanessa Washington from Kale, number 4. She's currently committed to North Dakota. Then you have Carson Reeves. She goes to Richmond Hill, currently uncommitted. Number 6, Finn Higginbottom. She goes to Savannah Art. She's currently uncommitted at the moment. You have Mackenzie Park, Strong Rock Christian, currently committed to Coppin State. Aubrey Wilson, as we mentioned, for Sandy Creek. She's currently uncommitted, but number 8 player at the middle hitting position. Number 9, Melina Ballman for North Forsyth, currently uncommitted. And then number 10, Gabriella Fullwood from Hillgrove as the number 10 player in the rankings. Then you have pin hitters. Number 1 is going to be Grace Agali. She goes to Pace Academy, currently committed to California, so she's pretty big time. Number 2, they have Emma Dutfield. She is going to love it right now. She's committed to UGA. Number 3, Samantha Mosley, Canonos Academy, currently uncommitted right now, followed by number 4, Sophie Catherine Harvey. She goes to Pope, currently committed to Embry Riddle. Number 5, Sophie Lynn. She's currently going to Cherokee. She is committed to South Carolina. Avery Dahm from Wesleyan. She's currently committed to Indiana at number 6. Number 7, you got Brooke Crummell. She currently goes to West Forsyth. She's committed to Liberty. Allie Sweat, River Ridge, as we mentioned before, and she's known for basketball too. She's currently committed to UNC Greensboro. Number 9, Sarah Schwartz goes to Mount Perrin, currently uncommitted. And then number 10 is McKenna Spilatros. She goes to Hillgrove, currently uncommitted as well. All right. We got 2024 setters currently ranked right now. Number 1, they have Caitlin Morin from Mount Perrin as well, currently uncommitted at number 1 as a setter. Number 2, Cooper Abney. She goes to Pope, currently committed to Eastern Kentucky. Kaki Watts. She goes to Lovett, currently uncommitted. Number 4, they have Nola Hemphill, who goes to Jackson. She's currently uncommitted. And then number 6, they have Lily Torrance, who goes to North Forsyth. She's currently committed to Holly Cross. Cantlin, she goes to West Forsyth. She's currently committed to Cumberlands. Number 8 is Sydney McCutcheon, goes to Jefferson, currently uncommitted. And then number 9 is Maria Sophia Fisher, goes to St. Vincent's, currently uncommitted. And then Isabel Miller, she goes to Oconee County High School, currently also uncommitted. So that's some of the top players they have in the 2024 class. As far as rankings, we mentioned some. I think they actually just dropped for our site as well. So let's go over that really, really quick. I think Craig's responsible for these rankings. All right, so right now, Class 7A, he has Buford at 1. Hillgrove moved up to the number 3 after improving to 18-2 overall. Really good record for them. We mentioned about 2 to 3 of their players in the top rankings in 2024 class. They are also joined by this week's top 5 by number 1 Buford, 2 Walton, number 4 North Cobb, and number 5 West Forsyth. Richmond Hill also entered the poll at number 6, and Marietta replaced Denmark at number 9. Buford actually is going to have a big game. They face off against number 1 Pope tonight. So that's going to be a game, kind of get your popcorn ready tonight to watch those two kind of face-offs, 2 top teams in both of their classifications. Should be a really good game between those two. And then Hillgrove takes on a top 10 Cherokee tonight as well. So that'll also be another entertaining game. So some pretty good games to watch tonight for volleyball. And then Class 6A Alpharetta defeated North Forsyth 2-0 last Thursday to take the number 2 spot, and Lakeside Evans, climbed to number 3. So Class 5A currently have McIntosh. They improved to they improved to 10-2. They picked up their 10th straight win and ascended to number 1 in Class 5A. Very impressive. They replaced Great Atlanta Christian this past week. Northview moved up to number 3 and round out the top 5 with number 4 Jefferson, number 5 Kell, and additionally Midtown debuts in the top 10 after its win over St. Pius this past week, and Richmond Academy moved up to number 7 in Class 3A, and Mount Pisgah took over number 1 in Class A. So those are the rankings we currently have right now. Like I said, it feels like a good bit of the season's already gone. You already got played about 20 games, so, I mean, it's going pretty fast, right?
Yeah, like 70% done.
Yeah, 70% done. So it goes fast. When is the playoffs normally?
The championships are always Halloween weekend, so they start at
Wow. Dang, that's fast. Wow.
So you got 1 month of the season left, and then it'll be playoffs.
Do they start like the first week of the school year?
Yeah.
And they're just
Not
going?
all of them, like half of the teams. And
Okay.
They just pick up big time.
Wow, interesting. So, yeah, volleyball's picking up. So I'm gonna try to obviously talk a little bit more about it, because it's almost there towards the end. So definitely try to give you guys updates on that as well. But I gotta give some love. I thought a credible milestone. This is more collegiately. This didn't happen in Georgia, but I thought this was a big story. Nebraska actually held a game yesterday, and they set the world record for the most attendance, I think, for any women's sporting event, right? They had their volleyball game in Nebraska in their stadium, and over 90,000 people, 92,000 plus to be exact, attended the game to support. I thought that was incredible. It was all over ESPNW. It was everywhere. So I thought that was incredible to see that. And I think it shows that women's sports is big, right? And I think it needs to have more of a spotlight. Obviously, it needs to be talked about more. And we're seeing different things, different pioneers like the Angel Reeses of the world being able to get big NIL money. You're seeing, like this past year when we seen college basketball, just kind of how many people were tuned in, how many people wanted to see Caitlin Clark, how many people went to see LSU, how many people went to see UConn. And what was so cool was so much parity, because most people thought it was going to be South Carolina or like the Blue Buds or like UConn, and it was such a fun tournament to watch. So it's definitely on the rise, and I think that was just a kind of I'm trying to think of the word. I think that just kind of showed where it's at, and to be able to pretty much sell out a football stadium for a volleyball game, I think that says a lot to where it's going and how much women's sports has grown. So hopefully it continues to get a spotlight and people continue to tune into it and support and watch it. And I think that's incredible. And I think it has a very, very bright future. All they need now is to continue to have the publicity. I think if we, as a media, as an outlet, if we continue to cover it the right way and we continue to shed light to what these amazing athletes are doing, I think the sky's the limit for women's sports. So just wanted to give that a shout out. I thought that was a great thing. But we got so much to talk about. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break, thank our sponsor, NFHS Network, and be back for the second segment of the show. They did. Yeah, that was pretty good. All right, so we're back. So, yes, quick update. Nebraska Cornhuskers in volleyball, they are a 5-time champion, and they ended up beating Omaha 3-0. So, that's just to kind of conclude that segment. A lot of fun. Definitely go check it out. Great story by ESPN and more. A lot of fun. But we're going to get into some recruiting intel. A lot's happened over the past week. If you guys follow me on Twitter, and thanks for all the supporters as well. We had a great segment this past week. We talked about our standout performers. So anybody that watches the show or follows us, definitely DM us your film. As you can see, I do film breakdowns. Craig highlights a lot of underrated players. I will do the same today. Excuse me. And we talked about our kind of standout performance from this past week, right? We highlighted Kyle Vodka. I did Sire Hardaway. I did a guy from Northcop, Christian. So we love to do that. So definitely, if you are following us, definitely shoot us your film. Tell us how you did. John Cenas was another one I highlighted also as well. So big news in recruiting. Offensive lineman Barry McWhorter for Cass. He committed to Arkansas this past week. A big get for the Razorbacks. Very physical, good offensive lineman. He's kind of the staple on there along with two other offensive linemen that kind of set the tone for Cass. Cass currently is 0-2, but again, I definitely think they can get back on their feet. To me, they got all the talent in the world. They just have to put it together, right? They're playing in a tough region, right? You got Hiram, you got them, you got Calhoun, Cartersville, so it's not going to be easy. And as Coach Clay Stevenson said, a good team is not going to make the playoffs, and that's unfortunate. But long as they can get going when it matters for Cass should be just fine. And Barry McWhorter is a big part of that. And they got the three linemen, as I mentioned. They got Sokovie White, Devin Henderson. They got some dudes. So they just have to be able to put it all together for 4 quarters, and they'll be just fine. But, yeah, I thought that was a big get for Arkansas. And then his dad gave him a shout-out as well, which I thought was a great story, and just how proud of him he was. And obviously his brother is Brody. We'll see how his recruiting continues to do. But I think he just wanted to close it early, man. And I think that's what's so cool now. The players can go ahead and get the recruiting out of the way, be committed. Obviously, we know it's not set in stone until you see pen to paper. But at least he can kind of just focus now on being the best, player he can be, being the best person he can be, and just going out there grinding every Friday night and just showing the world his talent. So we'll obviously see what happens. But, man, I mean, major gift for the Razorbacks. He'll obviously be a staple on that offensive line for years to come, and also on the Cass offensive line for years to come, because he is only a sophomore. So big news there. But, yeah, man, we got to talk about this ranking list that actually came out. This is from Recruit Me University at Recruit MEU. So they ranked the 2027 top 20 Georgia players in their eyes. So number 1, they put Waylon Wooten from Cedar Grove, defensive lineman. I'm not sure if he plays a lot for them. I'm going to go ahead and be honest. I have not heard this name before, but he is a top 20 player in their eyes. Number 2, I know very, very well, Riley Drew. Personally invited him to our Georgia Elite Classic event, wide receiver / DB, getting some good playing time for the Grayson Rams. He also has a visit set up, game day visit, actually this weekend when West Virginia takes on Penn State. So a great kid, man. I've enjoyed talking to him. I'm trying to go out and cover one of his games on maybe a Wednesday or Thursday night when they play, so I can see him up close and personal. He's already been invited to the Under Armour All-American game, played there. So kid has a bright future. It's tough because Grayson is like that powerhouse that's loaded with talent. So he's probably going to take him probably a year, maybe 2, before he's able to play varsity. But that's only going to just get him better. But, Grayson's a powerhouse. It's hard to start for Grayson as a freshman unless you're just a next-level athlete. It is very, very rare. So that was number 2. Number 3, they had Noah Merriweather, running back from Warren County. Number 4, they had ED3, Eric Darden the third, from athlete from Kell. Haven't heard about him, but apparently he's playing for their freshman JV team. Excuse me. Number 5, we got Josh Eccles. He is a linebacker for Buford, so that's obviously, as we always see, they have great linebackers. Another standout right now, 2 standouts actually, Jalen Parlati, who's committed to UGA, and then Montrez Walker, who's committed to Michigan. So he's going to be one to watch for as those 2 in the next couple of years graduate. But big-time player there. Number 6, no surprise, Christian Pancake Hunter from Milton. I mean, as I said, guys, it is not easy to start for a team as a freshman. Or even to get playing time as a freshman. He doesn't start for Milton, but he gets playing time. and he rotates in. So I got to see him up close and personal, and he already has the it factor, in my opinion, and he's only going to get better and better and better. So the kid has a bright future. As I said, he was a number 1 player in the 27 class in 8th grade. He's only going to get better, so no surprise to see him on this list. And the cool thing is, if you guys don't know, we have big game tonight. Big game tomorrow, obviously, with Rome and Carrollton. That's going to be on TV. Get to see Juju, Caleb Odom, get to see Joe Wilkinson, and also Reese Fountain. But next week, I'm really excited about that game, right? Milton, Roswell. Roswell's going to play Marietta, as we mentioned on Tuesday. Milton is coming off a bye week. Close loss to out-of-state team in Western. Played them tough. Can the offense get back on track? So we'll get to see Pancake Hunter up close and personal next week. And I think that's going to be one of our best games we have on TV this season. I mean, I hate to say it. You have KJ Smith coming off. We'll see how he plays this week, but just set the record for most single passing touchdowns in a game in Roswell history, beating Robbie Roper, who's going to get his jersey retired this week, tomorrow night. I mean, an incredible feat for him. Great weapons of Saquon Smith and Dylan Williams. So we get to see KJ Smith and that stud offensive line. Anthony Knapp's on there too, right? You got Chase Morrison on the opposite side rushing the passer. And then we get to see that Milton secondary who's been playing really, really well. And I think is the best in the country against that offense and those weapons. That's just going to be a great show to see. So I just wanted to bring that up as well. Keep it tuned for that next Friday at Milton. That will be a very, very fun game. Great athletes on both sides of the ball. Great players. That will be fun. Number 7, Ethan Halser. I've heard a lot about this guy. Seen him play a little bit. I think he played in our Georgia League Classic. Goes to Buford. That's going to be another player. DB, man, could potentially be kind of the same as you see with kind of a KJ Bolden in a couple years. I think the kid has a lot of potential. And then at running back, Lincoln County, Andrew Beard. He's another guy, big standout. Had a great performance in our Georgia League Classic as well as a freshman, or as an 8th grader, excuse me, I should say. So he's going to be another player to watch out for. Has a lot of potential. And then this one I thought was big. Langston Abernathy, the athlete from Peachtree Ridge. He's been tagging me in a lot of his stuff, so he kind of has me on his radar already. He is number 9 on this list. Very great playmaker. Plays a little bit of freshman in JV. I think he'll be a big talent for them next season, and it'll be kind of cool to see Darnell Kelly, who's starting to blow up, 3 offers. He's going to have this guy to throw to, and I think don't be surprised if Abernathy is getting a lot of playing time next season as a sophomore, especially with them graduating some of their weapons at the receiver, at the skill positions next year. He should be having a bigger role. Then number 10 got Caleb Hill, quarterback from Lithonia. Don't know a lot about him. I'm not going to lie to you. I got to do my research, get up on him, see how he's been playing, and how Lithonia team is as a whole. Hasn't really been on my radar, but I am going to do my research on that and learn a little bit more about him. Number 11, Teddy Girard. I'm not going to lie, guys. This kid has impressed me very, very much. A really good team. North Cobb Christian doesn't really get talked about a lot, but last year they were 10-2. He's a big part of the offense this season. He's starting as a freshman. So I really want to get out and see this kid play. Hopefully we can put a game on TV potentially for him. And get to kind of see him up close and personal. But, I mean, from his film, man, I've just enjoyed it, and it's been a lot of fun checking out this kid play. He already gets it, I think. And I think he knows where he wants to place the football. He's good at escaping the pocket. He's elusive. Kid is next level. So that's somebody, if you don't know, now you know. You need to put the radar on Teddy Girard. That kid is going to be special. Then number 12, they have Ian Chaffin from Buford, an athlete. Don't know a lot about him. Same thing with kind of Caleb Hill. Got to do my research on him, find out a little bit more. LaDamian Guyton. This kid here, 2027. I've seen some of his highlights. He's in with Savannah Christian. And what's so cool is this kid is getting to learn from a guy that's the number 1 player in the country for his class, according to most experts, in Elijah Griffin. And it reminds me of the relationship between Edric Houston and obviously Bryce Perry, right? And Griffin is able to be kind of a mentor to Guyton, because you got to think about it. He's going to be playing again next year. He's probably going to be starting next year. LaDamian Guyton, if he isn't already, getting rotation. And he's going to get to learn from one of the greats in the sport right now. So that's only going to pass down. That's only going to get him better and better. And they're going to get to play 2 more years together, which will be great for their defense. and he's going to be able to go when he's a junior and pass that along as well. So it reminds me of that situation because both Bryce Perry-Wright and Execution are both great, and they're both learning from each other. And Houston talked about how important it was for him to pass that down to him, and I think you're going to get the same situation here, passing down that greatness from Griffin to Guyton. Man, both studs. Great story out there in Savannah. So check out for that. Them guys are next level. Guyton got a lot of praise from a lot of guys that went to that game and seen them play. So watch out for him. Number 14, this is going to be a guy to watch, right? Messiah Satterwhite, right? Athlete from Carrollton. I'm not sure if he starts. I'm not going to lie.
Touchdown in the second half against South Baldy. He's not started, but he had a touchdown.
He had a touchdown. So, okay, so he's getting a little bit of rotation. Okay, so great point out by Craig. I did not know that. Excuse me. So that's a player I got to watch for too. Again, we'll see what happens with Juju. I'm not going to mention the rumors I've been hearing because I don't know if they're true. So I'm going to keep that to myself for now until that kind of comes out. But nonetheless, when Caleb Odom leaves this year, he'll have another target he can throw the ball to, another weapon, potentially in Messiah Satterwhite. So that's big as well. And then London Worthy from Worth County, QB they have on the list at 15. Player to watch for 16, Carson Bruce, a big part of that Northcott Christian offense for the JV level. I'm going to continue to watch him. He sent me some of his film too, so you are on my radar, Carson. I'm going to definitely continue to watch your film, see how you've continued to improve. And 17, man, I mean, this guy, he's not going to play a lot this year, but obviously he's on the roster for Milton, so wherever they travel, wherever they go, he's going to be. He was at that Miami trip when they played against Western. The kid just gets it, and he already looks like a refined product already, and he's only a freshman. He's not even playing really varsity football. I mean, obviously he's there and he got to play in their scrimmage, but you guys know what I mean. He's not starting, you know what I'm saying? But he already got great size. He made a electric play, I thought, just in the scrimmage, like, you just can't dial it up any better. Like, the throw wasn't the best, but he just made an adjustment over the shoulder catch for the throw, and it was just so next level. So this kid is going to be one to watch for Milton. It feels like they just breed tight ends and breed great skill players. You got Ryan Gia right now, who's 2025 class, heavily recruited player and athlete. Feels like Grant Hovland is next. 18, very impressive. We got to see him up close and personal. Braden Tyson won our Offensive Player of the Game and MVP for Brookwood Week 1 in a thrilling victory against McEachern, 21-20. The kid does not look like a 14-year-old. He looks like a grown man. He does. And he totes it like he's a grown man. And he's only going to get better and better and better and better. And he's already heavily recruited. Just got an Oregon offer. So the kid is having a lot of success right now in the high school realms, and colleges are taking notice. He had offers from South Carolina, I think Arkansas, Wisconsin before even his first varsity game. So kid will only continue to blow up. And then 19, Coach Ed Dudley talked a lot about this player. Plays running back for them. David Jacobs Jr., he's also listed as an edge for Blessed Trinity. And I haven't seen him play, but I'm not going to lie. I think we should put a game of Blessed Trinity on TV, right? They're in the same region as Alpharetta and Roswell. So I don't know, doing a double Roswell game, if that'll go. But I think you should at least put Blessed Trinity versus Alpharetta. I think that'll be a lot of fun to see. I want to see my guy Sean Wilson up close and personal. Got to see him at the Corky Kell 7-on-7 invitation, and the guy was next level. And I would like to see this kid too, who I think gets some good playing time on the varsity team for Blessed Trinity, and has been a player that Coach Dudley talks about a lot and talks up amongst his other players he talked about. So definitely want to see this kid. He's on a lot of people's radars, having a good season. And last but not least, number 20, they had Tashawn Poole from Howard making free safety. I will have to go look him up, go watch his film, and go kind of see him play and things like that. A couple players I think they left off was London Gogans, who won the Receiver of the Year according to Boarding to Compete in their youth awards. I think he's going to be a player for Grayson that could be very special, has some really good potential. And I'm going to go out on a limb, Craig, and I'm going to say, don't be surprised if you see Grayson win a title, not this year, not next year, but potentially that 2026, 2027 class. From what I'm hearing And what a lot of people are reporting to me, it's loaded. So they got some dudes. Don't be surprised if you're like, oh, where did this Grayson team come from? You can play back this clip right here. Go back to this special show. Bookmark it. Don't be surprised if they are a state champion contender in that 2026-2027 class when these guys are juniors and seniors. Don't be shocked. But yes, that's what I got as far as those rankings, that what stood out to me. Couple underrated players in football I want to highlight. Brooks Goodman. I'm going to have something come out on him soon. I just haven't had time. Been really, really busy. But he had a really efficient game week 1 against Calhoun. 17 for 20, 200 yards and a touchdown. He had another good game last week when they obliterated Elsa. He had another touchdown. Very efficient, smart guy. Takes several AP classes. I think it takes 4 to 5. Just gets it, man. Just knows where to go with the football. Talked about his relationship with Coach Allen and how the impact he's had on his game and how he's improved his game. So I think, like I said, I think Blessed Trinity is going to be a lot better than most people think. They got some players, some dudes, including Bryce Lewis, along with Brooks Goodman, and they talked about their relationship. So that's a guy I think is underrated right now who's in store for a big prime season. Don't be surprised if he throws for over 3,000 yards. All right, and the other player, Julius Columbus, he's been tearing it up right now through 2 games, 9 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, and 3 sacks. From his film and what I noticed, great IQ, student of the game, great explosion. Gets off the ball quickly, doesn't really allow you to block him, finds the quarterback tailback quickly, always making a play on the ball. Kid is, I think, 6'2", 6'3", 270 plus. Kid has a bright future for the Gainesville Red Elephants, and he's learning from some of the better players on that defensive line, including Champ Thompson, who's committed to Clemson. So those are my underrated players right now for football. That's all I got for that segment. For that, we got 2 more before we go ahead and go to our third segment. 4-star Jacob Wilkins officially schedules a visit to Virginia for October 13th. He actually right now, according to On3, is predicted to go there. If you guys don't know who he is the son of former Atlanta Hawk great Dominique Wilkins. He just transferred over from Parkview to Grayson. And as I said, and you guys will see when the basketball season comes around, hopefully we get a couple of their games. If not, I'm going to go to him. That's just going to happen. If not, I'm going to go to him. They got so much talent on that roster, and he's going to be there, and then they're going to have Amir Taylor. They got Jakari Harris. They got so many guys that are just really good, man. And I think it's their classification to lose in 7A. I really think so. They are going to be ready, and Coach Jeffrey Pierce does a good job. Last year they had a pretty good roster, made it all the way to the semis, ended up losing to Wheeler. I think this year they're going to be ready. Wheeler is losing a lot of their talent. They're using their sharpshooter. They're using Ayrton Page. They're losing Isaiah Collier. They're losing a lot of talent. I think they'll be ready this year. Their classification to lose in 7A. And who does rankings for basketball?
I think I did the girls. Set the boys. Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to be interesting to see those preseason rankings when they come out, especially with things shifting, players coming in, players going out. So we'll see what happens. But that's what I got for us basketball. That's the latest news right now. Make sure you guys keep it peeled to Kyle Sandy or Sandy Spill. He does a great job of updating everything as far as just basketball. He's having his league going right now. I think he has his rankings coming out pretty soon. So basketball is going to be a lot of fun to watch this upcoming season. All right, last thing to conclude this segment. Got some baseball. Just so proud, man. Happy for Bryce Clavin. He made the 18U team, including with a Walton player as well. National team roster will be very busy. I think he's going to miss the next 3 to 4 games for the Kell Longhorns. But outstanding player, man. I mean, that has to be so exciting to be able to just go to school and like, yo, I'm a dual sport athlete. I can play football. And football, I'm a 3-star. And baseball, I have the potential to go professional next year. I mean, it has to be on his mind, like, okay, which one am I going to do? Baseball, probably more longevity, less big hits. He's an outfielder, great hitter. And then you got football, more hits, less career. Has to see what happens. But baseball, you can play for years and years and years. And it's more money and less on your body as well. So I think that's big. He got to have a decision to make here pretty soon. But it has to be fun just as a young player being in school still and being able to play on the national team at the same time. That has to be a next level experience. But their schedule, August 31st, they're going to play Netherlands. September 2nd, they're going to play Spain. September 3rd, they're going to play Japan. September 4th, they're going to play Panama. September 5th, they can play Venezuela, and then they're going to have September 7th, their super round, which is basically the playoffs. And if they continue to win, then they'll continue to advance and can potentially win a trophy. So shout out to Bryce Claiborne and all the great players from Georgia that made the national team roster that will be competing for Team USA. Great, great, great experience. So we're going to take one more quick break, thank our sponsor, NFHS Network, and be back to wrap up the show. All right, welcome back. My favorite segment of the show, top 10 headlines for the weekend. So much to talk about. All right, number one, Creekside Mater Dei. How will the team from the South Side, great, phenomenal coaching staff and Coach Dixon, the defensive coordinator, great men, great black men at that, do a good job of just molding these men to be ready to play on the next level. I think last year they had 7 to 8 plus guys go to play D1 or go to play on for colleges. Just want to say an outstanding job that they do, first and foremost. And enjoy watching them week 1 or week 0, whatever you want to call it. Them playing Kennesaw Mountain. And I think they're going to be ready, y'all. I do. I know nobody's giving them a chance, and this is Mater Dei. This is a team that's number one. They can't be beat. David versus Goliath. It's not going to happen. I'm going to tell you what, though. You keep kicking the team to a curb. Don't be shocked. You know, if they come out there and they set the tone early. I'm not saying they're going to win. I'm not saying they're going to lose. But one thing I'm not going to do is doubt the heart that Creekside got. Okay? So, they got some dudes. I think Vincent Berry, he's going to have a good game. He cannot turn over the football. You can't throw pick sixes, okay? You can't throw interceptions, right? But I think if they lean on the ground game, they lean on Roger McCreary, they lean on Travis Terrell, they lean on Shane Kelly, Dylan Vickerson, that offensive line led by Makai Baru, who's going to Florida, the other dudes that they got, and if they defensive line can create pressure and just kind of get their quarterback out of tack and make them uncomfortable, they got a shot. And that's the thing I want to say today. I think that they have a shot. I think they have a puncher's chance and a shot to shock some people in this game. Now, I cannot explain how big of a victory, if they win, that will be. Georgia's already on the map. You're going to put Georgia in a whole different map, I think, at that point. Because most people think that Mater Dei, St. John Bosco, they're untouchable. They're not going to be beat. Nobody has a chance. Only team that might have a chance is Buford, who's number 5 in the rankings nationally. But if Creekside goes in there on the road, in their house, and plays that physical brand of football that they like to play, hey, man, you got to give them love and credit if they go in there and do that. And I think that just puts Georgia on a whole different map. And the only reason why I say that is because one team predominantly gets known in Georgia. Obviously, now you got other teams that are finally starting to wake up to and sniff the coffee a little bit. Okay, they could be good. Oh, okay, Walton may be good. I don't know. That's how people think. They might be good. Oh, Langston Hughes. Oh, okay, they barely slid by Carrollton. And, well, you know, pretty sure Nolan is the guy, but I don't know. Do you really believe in Langston? I don't know. Maybe that was a fluke last year. You know, this is how people talk. But I think there's some great programs in Georgia. People obviously realize that, but a lot of times they're just like, you know, they can't go against the powerhouses and hang. So even if they come out with a loss, if they hang with them tough, like I said, that just opens up, and I think the eye will be more on Georgia. So I hope they go in there and handle their business. I believe in Coach Dixon. I believe in that coaching staff, and I believe what they do in molding great black men. And I think they'll continue to do that. And I think it's going to be a great game. Going to be streamed on NFHS Network. Go check it out. Good luck to Creekside. Hope they go represent Georgia well. They're a great program, and we'll see how it comes out for the Seminoles. But, hey, again, last thing. They go in there and handle their business. They go in there and beat Mater Dei. They could beat anybody in Georgia. Simple as that.
Didn't you say St. John's the only team that's beat them in the last 7 years?
Yes. Only team. I think they beat them 3 of the last 4 years for state titles. So, one team. So, big test, but we're going to find out. All right. Number 3, I thought this was a great preview by Hayden when he had Creekview and Calhoun going off against each other. Creekview was kind of surprising, folks. I know they have a heavily talented player on the offensive line, but a lot of people aren't really like, Creekview, we'll see. But they're 2-0, and Calhoun's 1-1. Calhoun got back on track. I thought that was going to be such a good game between them and Carver. Like, it started off so good. It was like 14-12, back and forth. I think Carver scored first before Calhoun answered back. Thought they did a good job for the most part of the game. Like, first half, just bottling up Caden Williams, who's going to Liberty. Great player, great running back. They bottled them up. But then it was like almost a straw broke the camel's back, and the running game start going, opened up the play action, and then Amari Winston's a hard cover. But I thought for the most part they had a pretty decent game and kind of a coming out party for Latea Step. I think so. So I think they need to depend on him more. Honestly, I would not run a 2 QB system. I just wouldn't. I would depend more on – sorry, guys. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. I got to find his name real quick. Give me one sec, y'all. Okay. It's Adam Shealy. And the thing about Shealy is he really impressed me with his ability to evade pressure, keep his eyes downfield, and be able to throw laser passes and dimes and dots all over the field. So at this point, you got to let him grow. And I think, and it's no disrespect to the other guy, let him come in for certain things and run the offense a little bit. But if Shealy got it going, let him run the offense. And I think he's going to be better down the line for it. And I think it would only help their offense get better. And I think he is the guy at the QB position. And currently he's a senior. So this is his last season. I would say let him run through the kicks. He impressed me the most out of both of the quarterbacks, honestly. So I'm going to roll with Adam Shealy. I would think that he is the best player to run my offense for Carver Atlanta, team that wants to contend and compete for a state championship. So that should be the guy going forward, in my humble opinion. But back to Creekview Calhoun. So can Creekview kind of stifle up their running game a little bit? Can they make it tough for them, right? Can they make Trey Townsend a passer? Not saying he can't pass. He passes the ball well. He actually impressed me a little bit. But can they make them a passing team, I think, is the big thing. And will somebody have an answer for Amari Winston, who's a big red zone threat, a guy that he can beat you over the middle of the field with his speed and kind of, his size, and he can also go get the jump ball as well. So that's going to be a key thing to watch for in that one. But we'll see if Creekview can remain undefeated or if Calhoun can go 2-1 and kind of rebound from that initial loss. All right, this is breaking news from yesterday. This is from Muskogee County. No games will be played at A.J. McClung Memorial Stadium for the rest of the varsity football season. Schools district, they don't feel comfortable that they adequately have enough staff to create a safe enough of an environment. This was reported by WRBL News out there in Columbus. So obviously it was an incident that happened out there. So no more games there. Hopefully they're able to get that under control, and next season they can have football games there. But it's having a lot of issues. I thought that was a big topic to talk about today. And as far as the top 10 headlines, that is big. So we'll see how that all plays out. Hopefully next year it will be better. All right, big game tonight, number 5. Miller Grove versus Douglas. Interesting game between both of these teams, right? They both play really, really well in our Great Atlanta Bash. Miller Grove ended up beating Maynard Jackson 28-22. Douglas shut out Booker T. Really impressive game from Antoine Watkins, the running back who won Offensive Player of the Game and MVP. Torrance Polk had the pick 6, but that's a big turnaround, right? You play Saturday, now you got to play Thursday. So not a lot of time to give your body a chance to rest. So I think it'll be interesting to see how they come out, both teams looking to kind of set the tone. Douglas, I think, is 2-0 right now. Miller Grove is 1-1. So quick turnaround, Both teams played in that hot heat. I think Craig said, 150 degrees on that field. So I think that is going to be big game between both of the teams. That will be a lot of fun. All right. So, number 6, player to watch this season in basketball is going to be Alea Green. Plays for Central Macon last year. Was a Region Player of the Year, All-State, AJC, and Georgia Athletic Coaches Association Player of the Year as well. So she did a really good job for them. I think it'll be interesting to see how she kind of just comes out and has this season. As a player they highlighted, I think she'll be a good player for Central Macon again. Her last year, how will she come out? How will it all be? So I think that will be a lot of fun. All right, number 7. Got Grayson JV softball on fire right now. Currently have a 5-game winning streak. They do a good job. Haven't lost the game. Just playing some really good ball. So I wanted to give them some love, man. I think they got it going at an important time of the season. Obviously, as softball starts to heat up, we're about to hit September. So as you know, that region ball starts getting really competitive and very, very impressive. So we will find out what happens there. All right, number 8. Want to give a shout out to Alex Hotling on a big summer, hitting over 300 this past summer and had 9 strikeouts. Continues to improve and get better and better and better. So he's been having a big baseball year. So can't wait to see how that all comes out. All right, number 9, Lambert softball. They get a huge road region victory on the road against West Forsyth, 5-3. Hannah Cole pitched a full 8 innings and struck out 16 batters. She also went 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs. So struck out 16 batters and went 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Paige Wentworth and Bailey Johnson helped set. Helped set the stage for the game winner in the 8th inning. So great game by her. Doing a good job for Lambert softball as they get the 5-3 victory. So very, very big. And we'll see how, obviously, that all plays out. All right. So let's see. Okay, so Jimmy, we got a comment. So before I wrap up the show, we got a couple more. All right, Jimmy. Looks, it says, in this area, Troop versus Callaway, an intriguing matchup. Top 5. Any thoughts? So that's Troop. That's Troop that has the Tail Todd, right?
They won 50-0 last week, and then Callaway beat Cedartown last week.
Ooh, hey, Jimmy's right. That's an interesting game. Okay. Any notable players on Callaway? I know Troop got some good players. They got the guy Qua Birdsong. They obviously got Tail Todd. What's Callaway's record? Hold on, Jimmy. Let me.
They're 1-0.
Okay, yep. Craig's right. 1-0 right now. 2017 victory against Cedartown. Okay, they're going to be at home against Troop. Let's see, how did they fare last season? Okay, so last year, 9-4, 6-0 in the region, got the 1 seed. Made it to, they made it pretty deep. Okay, they beat Booker T, who we had on TV. Played Fannin County, lost to Appleton County in the 3rd round, 44-21. Okay, so I think that would be intriguing and interesting. I have to say, I'm going to roll with Troop, man. I think Tail Todd's going to continue to have a good season. I think their firepower offense will be a little bit tough for Callaway, even though they did beat a good Cedartown team. I think they'll be able to pull away in that one. So, Jimmy, honestly, I'm going to roll with Troop County to get the dub there. I think it'll be a really good matchup, so we appreciate the comment as well. And just tuning into our show today. But yeah, I'm gonna roll with Troop, man. I'm gonna roll with Troop. I could be wrong, so don't hold me too much to it, Jimmy. But all right, number 9, we got 2 more. We're gonna wrap. Westlake Cedar Grove. Man, this is gonna be such a good game to watch, right? This is gonna be on GPB. The question with Cedar Grove is like, they're good every year. They play the upper echelon teams. They go against the Bufords, the Westlakes, the North Cobbs, the tough teams in the state of Georgia. But their defense, man, this has me a question mark by them. I know E.J. Colson's going to do his thing. I know they're going to run the ball well. But their offense put up 34 against Dutchtown, and they put up 42 against Coconut Creek, right? Obviously, that's an out-of-state team. But it's like, if Cedar Grove can't stop nobody, and they've had some great talent come through, right? They've had Kay and Lee. They've had studs just kind of come through the program. But if they can't stop nobody, I don't know how they're going to fare in 3A. I mean, you still got you got Calvary Day who can throw the ball. The team they completely blanked. Guys, you got to think about this, right? Last year, Cedar Grove in their playoff run, they produced 2 shutouts, right? But if they can't stop anybody, that's going to make it tough, And you can't just go shootout. Obviously, it's more of a passing game now, but you got to be able to get a stop when it matters most. So that worries me a little bit. Westlake has come out the gates hot at 2-0 record. They're running the ball good. They're playing good team ball. They're forcing turnovers. Their head coach, they got them going. So it's going to be an interesting game. Like, can Cedar Grove defense get enough stops? Can they, do enough to get this win? Obviously, I think Cedar Grove is a great program. Coach John Adams does a great job. But this is a big game. So obviously, it's not a region. Doesn't matter at the end of the day, but you want to start setting those tools and those building blocks, early, and being able to kind of, set the tone, because they only got 4 region games. That's it. And coming out of that region is tough, and you want to get that number 1 seed. So we're going to see. If I had to put my money on it, I'm going to go Westlake. Yes, to win that. All right, number 10, close out the show. If you guys haven't learned already, go to our scoreatlanta.com for the free stream. Go to our Twitter. We gave out the stream today as well with the graphic. The game of the week, Carrollton Rome. I'm sure Craig's going to have his take tomorrow in his GHSA Drive for the State title show. But as you know me by now, Craig, I love upsets. And I'm rolling with an upset here. I know a lot of people are taking Carrollton and superstar quarterback in Juju. I'm going to roll with Rome. I think them being at home, I'm curious to see what uni combination they use too, because those black and red ones were, man, I liked that combination. So we're going to see what combination they have as far as unis, but I'm all with Rome. I like just how their defenses look. They haven't really given up a touchdown. Got Joe Wilkinson getting pick sixes. Tanaris Stallings in the return game, adding that other element, and that's going to be a key piece. Besides the defense, which I'm talking about in a second, how will the special teams be in this game, right? Will they be able to limit the yardage and where they start for Carrollton? Can they make them start in the 10-yard line? Can they make them start inside the 20, right? Or will Carrollton have great field position all game? I think that's going to be a key early on, right? And then going to defensively, what kind of pressure will they be able to create on Juju? We know they got Justin Terrell, who's going to NC State, and like I said, their defense is basically just shut down opponents in the first 2 weeks of the season. But this is a different test completely. You got Caleb Olam. You got Juju Lewis. You got the running back. They got a lot of weapons they could throw at you. So I think it's going to be intriguing to see, can Rome defense match up? Can they keep them in the game if their offense struggles early on? That is going to be a key part of this game. We will find out if they can. And I feel like, and obviously he's came to us and said that he thinks he's a top player, a top quarterback in the state, in Reese Fountain. And he had a pretty good game. I don't think he only had 3 or 4 incompletions, but he had 2 interceptions. So this is a big game. How will Reese Fountain fare against top quarterback in the country? That's going to be interesting, right? Because Reese considers himself a top QB in the state of Georgia. This is where you get your marbles. Now, I don't know where his offer sheet looks. I don't know how many offers he currently has. I haven't looked that deep. But he does a good job. He has a good command of the offense. He knows where to go with the football. He's very accurate. His good ball placement. But I want to see him for 4 quarters. And Craig, you correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like we have not seen a game where Reese has just went toe-to-toe with a quarterback in this state. And correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, and it's no offense to Rome. Rome has a phenomenal team. Coach Reed does a good job. But their region is not, up to par. Like, their region is not top tier. Yeah. So this is a good test. They played, obviously, Carrollton last year, and I believe Carrollton won that one. But this is a good test. And these are going to be quarterbacks you go against when you go on the next level. Is a Juju Lewis. So if Juju goes up early, 14-0, hypothetically, can Reese Fountain come back and get his offense in the game? Well, obviously without doing too much, staying on the floor of the offense and doing what he needs to do and leaning on Chance Arthur and things like that at the running back position. But can he go toe-to-toe with another phenomenal quarterback? I think that's my biggest question.
He says he has the best receivers in the state. We'll see.
We're going to find out. So keep it locked. 8 p.m., Rusty Menzel, Brendan Adams on the call. Craig Sager will be there. Kaylee Menzel will be there as well. A lot of great talent will be on display. I can't wait to see it. So stay tuned. All that is linked on our Twitter page, on scoreatail.com. That's all I got for today. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Happy Labor Day. And we'll be back for Craig's show tomorrow. Drive for the GHSA state title. And we'll see you guys then. All right. Peace.